fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kiru's show here, and now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Junto. After awaking from his coma and transforming his body into that of a demon, he faced off against the strongest human warrior that the human nation has to offer. Now, Deku and the man fought, and there was a lot of collateral damage. The man deemed Deku as the most worthy opponent he's ever faced, and Deku fulfilled this man's wish, dying in battle and reuniting with his family. Now, after Deku came back to his senses, he spoke with this man briefly, learning that they were so much alike. This man has had his entire world ripped away from him. He had nothing to lose, and he just wanted the sweet release of death. Deku knows that feeling. He's been there before. He's wanted to die. However, he was so angry with everything around him, everyone, that he would attack anyone who goes against his ideals. Now, Deku he did then return back to the kingdom, where his party has kidnapped the human prince. Now, Deku and Laura, they talked, and Deku did kiss her trying to comfort the fragile monster. Now, Deku's girls, they found out about this, since they were spying on him. Laura leaving, and Deku talking with them, as he's explained to them quite a few things. Now, all of them are mad. However, Deku, he does try to explain what happened, talking to all of them that, well, yeah. Laura has a particular interest in him. He's, well, not too sure why. And they're kind of confused about that. As we do actually have Ray, who talks about how he has these qualities and these qualities. And yeah, it was a fairly lengthy conversation. Eventually, it boiled down to the fact that none of them do know Laura the way Deku has known her. And they're all very surprised to hear that she's actually a fairly decent person in his eyes. Now, Deku did give all of them at least something to do, telling all of them that if they don't like Laura, then they just need to at least talk with her and try to understand her better. She's a stranger to them. That's all it really is, right? Now, all of them were shocked and confused, looking at each other before realizing that he's right. Now, Deku, he would have told them all one thing. He gets that they're mad about this, and he does at least have one way to apologize. Now, all of them do go to look back at him, as he does get to say a few words that all of them, they immediately jump at the chance about. Deku saying that he did remember the request to at least do something for them for one day. Now, Deku talks about how he does have an idea of how to spend that day, and he might as well just take all of them out for, well, a date. Now, all of them were quite surprised. That's actually fairly good, spending an entire day alone with him. It's, well, surprising and curious. Now, this is where all of them, they do at least agree. And we do actually have the next morning, where Deku, he would have woken up kind of surprised at the fact that there's nobody in his bed. Him getting up and getting dressed, as he does head towards the breakfast room, or where they would eat their breakfast. Now, you do actually have where he does sit down, finding that there's at least 4 chairs around him. Now, you do actually then have later where Laura does come walking in. And you do actually have where Deku's girls are following her. So, do you mind explaining to me what's going on? Because this morning I had a fairly good conversation with somebody. And, well, it was quite informative. Yes. Apparently, your companions want to get to know me better. And they were advised by you to do so. Yeah. Now, everyone does look around at these two, as the 4 would sit down at the table next to Junto. And they would all eat breakfast. Now, the situation doesn't really change very much, all of them having at least some conversation or eating. However, today it's fairly lively. The 4 are asking the princess a whole lot of questions. And you do actually have everyone who they are looking at the table, some trying to hold in their laughs, and some are genuinely curious about what's happening. Now, you do actually have Lee who does ask, well, Laura, about ever being a swordsman, or trading in the blade. And she would have explained that her father does allow her to train with a weapon, but she's never been officially allowed out to participate in an actual fight. Really? Yes. I do find myself fascinated with, well, tactics and learning more about, well, commanding troops. It's always been my dream to be a warrior. However, my father, he knows I'm far too important. I'm the eldest daughter. If my son, or, well, not my son, if my brother, he is not deemed fit worthy, I shall be the one to take up the crown. Really? Yes, and my father, as he would put into his own words, doesn't want a barbarian for a daughter. Yeah, but that's changed now, right? Yeah. That's what Junto does say. Her going to look towards him. I told your father to back off, remember? As far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty sure you can do what you want. I'm going to use his fork to poke down into a potato. As he does, bring his hand up to chew, or bring his fork up and put the potato in his mouth while chewing. That being where Tori, she actually does ask if she would like to go out with him on a small adventure then. Well, sure. I've never officially done that, but I'll give it a shot. Now, with that, you actually have her after breakfast, she is going to stand up. The 4 walking over to her and trying to at least learn what type of skills she does have. And Deku does actually watch that. Okay, they're getting along fairly well. Excuse me, Junto. Deku turning his head. Exactly what are we going to do with the prince of the humans? Yeah, let me handle that. You won't do anything too extreme, I imagine. Extremity is not really what we do need right here. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. Their prince is a big pushover. The guy's, well, what is it? Not even level 30. And the fact of the matter is, he's kind of just the egotistical dickhead. I don't He's very overconfident in his own abilities, but he doesn't do anything. Think about it like this. He's the guy who says he'll kick your ass, but after about one punch, he goes down like a feather. Or he just drops like a light. Alrighty then. I don't understand your strange euphemisms, but yeah, there takes some getting used to. Let's see. I won't torture him because usually that doesn't work. From my experience, at least half the information is usually wrong or just because they say what I want to hear. Torture. You've done that before. Oh yeah. I did that to help not only free some slaves back whenever I was the Black Wolf, but that's even actually how I found Tori. Now, the man does go to look over his shoulder, looking to see that girl, who, apparently, from what he doesn't understand, was a slave. I understand. You did it for the right reason, even though it was the wrong thing. Yeah. I mainly did it just because he was a slave driver. And yeah. If he's gonna do something, he should at least experience it. Yeah. In fact, I don't think many of those people are still alive. I think I killed at least 90 of them. 90? No, 90%. Oh, that is a hefty number. Yeah. Anyways, now, Deku is gonna walk away. As Tori, Lee, Ray, and Bell, they do take Laura out with them. And they even do at least get her started back on the basics of swordsmanship. Find out that she's actually fairly good at it, and they do at least get her to try out her own magic. Now, they do have some fun, and they do even give her a little bit of a disguise. Them taking away her crown and putting a hood over her head, and even giving them one of their outfits that do fit. As they do want to take her out of the castle, but they don't want her to be recognized as the princess. Now, they do go on to take a at least low-level quest for her. As we do actually cut to Deku, who he's currently walking towards the dungeon as he does look at the guard. The man asking if he's here to visit the prisoner. Yes, I am. I don't expect that you treated him poorly. No, your majesty. Don't call me that. Yes, sir. That's better. Anyways, now Deku would go to walk in. As you actually cut to the prince's point of view. He woke up in this dank, cramped room. It's cold. And he's hoping that that's water on the floor in the corner. Now, he is royalty. He should not be treated like this. Whenever his father's forces do come, whenever the hero does come for him, he wants that man to butcher these people. Butcher their enemies and take back this land as their king, or as their kingdom, as their rightful birthright. Now, you actually have where he does hear footsteps. Before he does go to stand, him going to throw himself towards the bars as he does try to look and see who it is. As his heart does sink and drop whenever he does see somebody he never expected to see again. Him going to slowly back up. As Deku he does go to turn his face. Hello, Prince Dominic. You! Wait a minute, you're dead! Oh, is that what you were told? You see, you were just poorly informed. Wait, this isn't possible. Did you come here to free me? Are you a spy? No. All wrong. I'm not here to free you. In fact, it was my friends who captured you. You captured me? You bastard, you betrayed the human race. Human race? Don't make me laugh. I'm not human. Excuse me? Well, I was human once. However, Deku turned to look at him, his eyes glowing red, and the man he does stare at him. That presence he's giving off. He feels like he's hearing people's screams. I'm going to step backwards. You're a demon. You're a monster. Yes, I am. However, that's just recently. I had a lot of fun on the battlefield. I slaughtered at least 50,000 of your own men. I said that makes up for the 6,000 demi-humans I killed. What? Yes. Don't be surprised. You bastard. Him going to bring his hand up, talking about how when the hero finds out about this, Deku looking directly at the man. As he does go to hold up one thing, the hero does see. a broken piece of metal. What is that? Oh, you don't recognize it? Deku going to toss it into the cell. And the man, he does just look down at it before he does go to pick it up. And look at that more closely. This metal, he's seen it before. It's him realizing what's going on. You didn't. How is that possible? It's easy. I just have the advantage. My species always does. No, this isn't right. That man's unkillable. Seemed pretty mortal to me. Anyways, I'm not here to torture you, kill you, or do anything you think I'm here to do. In fact, you being here is fairly good. Deku going to bring up his hand. As he does unlock the cell. Now, Deku would open the door. As he does go to swing it open and inform the prince that he does need to come with him now. There's a lot of things that you need to go over with him. Excuse me? Yes. Come on. Now, Deku does go to turn around. And inform the prince that they have to talk to him about at least his nation's surrender. Now, the prince, he does go to move forwards. And he does go to rush in for the attack. Him going to bring up his hand, he does step forwards fast to try and perform lightning magic. As we do actually have where the prince, he already does have his hand up in the air. And we do actually have Deku, who he's already grabbed the prince by his face and picked him up. The prince blinking as he was staying there 1 second, bringing his hand up, and the next he was already in this man's grasp. What the hell? I told you. Deku lowering him down to the ground. If you want to save your country, come with me. If you want to save your little sister, you'll come with me. My sister? Yes. Your father brainwashed her, you idiots. Your father has her under a slave crest. Along with that God knows how many other people. That's not possible. I know my father. He wouldn't do that. Your father is a fucking lunatic. Deku does say. Him turning around once more and telling him that he needs to follow him. If he doesn't, then there's going to be a lot of problems. Now, the man would go to do so. The idea that his sister might be in danger, that's, well, it concerns him a lot. Now, Deku would explain to this man, Dominic, exactly what's happening. Talking about how shortly after he won their royal games in the capital and was gifted with 500 gold, his father, he rigged the games so he wouldn't have to pay a single person a single gold coin. He's a greedy and manipulative man. Along with that, he tried to cast a magic spell on him whenever he was gifted the money. He tried to make him a part of the army to fight. Everything you're speaking about, I don't believe you. I understand if you don't believe me. However, there's just one problem. If you don't cooperate with me, and if your father doesn't cooperate with me whenever I tell him that I have you as a hostage, we're gonna have to threaten to kill you. What? That's insane. I know. It's all part of war, though. If you do wish to cooperate with us, I won't kill you, or say I'm going to. However, this is to show you exactly how deranged your father really is. Now, this is where you do actually have Dominic, who does stare at this man. He remembers this guy is the warrior, the ruthless, savage, and deranged and insane man. However, now, this man's calm. He's speaking as a military leader. He's speaking the same way the hero does, except different. He's literally using tactics as he's talking. That has to be it. Listen, if my sister truly is under this slave crest as you do so say, why would my father do such a thing? Well, I can think of a few reasons. However, how about I answer your question with another question? Has anyone ever said no to your father? Do you remember anyone ever saying it? You remember him ever getting upset at you whenever you threw a tantrum as a little toddler? Now, he does try to think back. There has to be... There was the time when... whenever he was a boy, there was a man who... There was... him coming up short. Nothing. No one's ever said no to his father. No one's ever denied him anything he wanted. Now, it does dawn on him then. This man said no. And his father had to do what this man said. It makes perfect sense now. Whenever his daughter went to this man to try and talk to him, she tried to at least be on this man's side. That must be what happened, right? My little sister. Did she... What? You wanna know how it happened? Easy. Your father took away my license to adventure. That was literally the day I killed that dragon out of anger. Your father thought it would be a good idea to try and fuck with me. Your sister tried to get my license back. And what I did was I did an off-the-books quest. After I saved your home and your father's dumb little life, you wanna know how he tried to thank me? Easy. He tried to get me to do anything he wanted, but it doesn't work. And he even took control of your sister. So, that's what happened. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fake, well, a scenario. If you don't want to comply with us, that'll just add to the realism. Wait, what? Yeah, okay. We're gonna send a message to your father. And if he doesn't surrender, then you'll know exactly what type of man he is. Do you understand? I see. Listen, I don't like saying these words, but your compliance isn't really the issue here. We can just force you. Oh, yeah. As much as I do hate that idea, it might have to happen. Then again, we should probably wait on that. For right now, we'll at least give you a proper room. You won't sleep in the dungeon. And you'll at least have guards and patrols with you at all times. Now, Deku is going to bring his hand up on his shoulder, informing him that, along with that, if he does try to leave or escape through the castle, there'll be guards posted everywhere. Along with that, Deku leaning in close. Anywhere you go, I'll just track you down and find you. Drag you back here and then you can sleep back in the dungeon, okay? I understand. Perfect. Deku going to do an about face and then leave, as the guards do come walking up. Now, he does then go to leave to a private quarters, where he does think on Deku's information. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.